So in this segment, we're going to be talking about a Labour peer talking about the need for a strong Conservative Party in the UK and how much of an idiotic idea that is. So stupid.
Let's bring our panel back in, shall we? A sort of coded message to the leadership contenders there from Grant Shapps saying, be careful, warning they need to move to the centre ground?
Well, it was a sort of statement of the bleeding obvious to my ears, as in he was saying, well, at the moment they're trying to appeal to Conservative Party members, but then they'll have to completely change their tune, when they're trying to appeal to the general public. And leaders have always done that. Keir Starmer did it in his leadership election.
Yeah, it's the American thing. Run to your base and then run away from your base.
You appeal to the constituency you're talking to, and then you change your tune when you're trying to appeal to a bigger constituency. But I think he omitted to say that reform is the big threat there. And if they tack to the left, that's why they lost the election. They didn't lose the election because the Labour Party was doing brilliantly. They lost the election in a lot of those constituencies because of reform eating them.
Yeah, essentially their vote got split, which was about time, to be honest. But I don't know if they can go back to being a party of those kinds of people, because if Labour stays at the centre-right, which they kind of are at, those kind of One Nation Tories will go to the Lib Dems or potentially go to Labour, and they're kind of split again down the other side. So I don't know if just trying to appeal to reform voters is going to be enough for them.
What do you think, Margaret?
Well, I thought it was a recipe for dishonesty, actually, listening to them. So you say one thing at one point and then you turn around to another electorate and you completely change your story.
That's crazy, innit? Because that's literally what Keir Starmer did, and you were kind of backing that because you were told at the time, well, Starmer doesn't actually believe in these policies. He's just saying it to win the leadership contest. So you can call it a crazy strategy or talk about how much you don't like it, but your boy literally did that. So
I tell you what's depressing.
Did, yeah.
I think what is depressing about this is you do win elections from the centre. We all know that. I would say centre-left. Grant Shapps said centre-right.
Margaret Thatcher didn't necessarily win from the centre, though, did she?
I think she did. She cared very much about the issues that are really, about sort of...
Did Thatcher win from the centre, guys? I don't know. Chat, is that how she won?
Cost of living, all those sort of the economy, work, all those things that matter in the centre. What I find depressing, even as a Labour politician, I think democracy only works well if you've got an effective, strong opposition. If you've got an opposition that's pulling to the right because they're worried about reform, I think it's not serious opposition, and I think that...
Well, I think that, the thing is, if they did pull towards the right, and the Tories did well for a while. When you look at things like immigration, which is predominantly a right-wing issue in this country, that's one of the ones that cut through. One of the issues that cut through. So I don't think arguing that if the Tories go to the right, they're not a serious party anymore. It just depends on what the electorate think, really, at that point.
That won't be good for British democracy. Much as I want Labour to succeed, I want Labour to be challenged in the actions and the policies that it develops over time.
And Margaret...
and she's arguing here she wants a strong Tory party to challenge, but she also, had to concede that the Tories are centre-right. That's where Grant Shapps, I think, wants the party to be. But surely you'd want Labour to be challenged by left-wing and centre-left parties, because that's how you'll get better policies through, not by being challenged by the centre-right. David Cameron, the party of austerity, unless you believe in things like austerity and budget cuts, which, Margaret Hodge, do you believe in those things? Because if you're challenged by the centre-right parties, that's the challenge you're going to get. Whereas if you challenge more by the Lib Dems, who are pushing a much stronger NHS, despite them backing austerity in the 2010s, I haven't forgotten about you guys, don't worry about that. But if you want, the country to actually push through with at least centre-left policies at minimum, you don't want to be challenged by the Tories. You want to be challenged by the Lib Dems, because they're the policies that the Lib Dems actually care about, and therefore they'll push Labour to do, or they'll say to the Labour voters, look, your guys are washed, your guys are centre-right, like the Tories are, vote for us. We're the ones that actually going to do centre-left policies. So it's an easy dub for them. So her argument here just really falls flat. What you don't want is an opposition that pushes the Overton window to the right. You want an opposition that pushes the Overton window to the left.
Now that you're in the Lords, I'm guessing you can probably answer this more honestly than you would have when you were in the Commons. But which one of the two left standing is the one that the Labour Party would rather be against? Which one do you think is weaker as a performer?
It's crazy because Kemi Badenoch is awful in interviews. She's really bad. and so it could be her, but I think it'd be Jenrick because he just. Whenever I look at him, I think Augusta Wind could take him out. So I think Robert Jenrick would be the answer.
It's a terrible question because I think they're both terrible. I think actually,
But one must be more terrible.
I just cannot. I can't stand Kemi's anti-work stuff. I think it has been incredibly destructive, playing to the worst of prejudices. And I'd say the same with Robert Jenrick.
I mean, attacking maternity pay for Kay Badnoch was incredibly stupid. I don't know what she was thinking there, but overall, I think Jenrick would be the easier one for Labour. But this idea, this dream of having a strong Tory party, less of that. I don't want a strong strong Tory party. I don't want a strong Reform party. What I'd rather see is a strong Green party, a strong Lib Dem party, and a strong SNP party. That's what I'd rather see, because they'll push Labour to the left, not to the right, and we'll actually get good policies from there. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.